It's time for your daily LSU baseball update with Musso at the box. Now, Matt Musso.
Off and running. Welcome in another edition of Musso at the box. LSU and Coastal Carolina for the national championship of college baseball. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, if necessary. Oh, Tiger fans, if you're still basking in the glow of that victory over Arkansas from Wednesday night, boy, I do not blame you. That is one for the ages and one that we will remember in Baton Rouge and in Louisiana and wherever you may be as a Tiger fan for a very, very, very long time. All the theatrics, all the heroics, and what it set up was this matchup between the Chanticleers and the Tigers. And boy, is there not some history between Jay Johnson in this program and, of course, the LSU program and Coastal as well. We are all very, very aware of that. And it just adds to the intrigue and the excitement and the intensity around this series that gets underway on Saturday. What I want to do today is take a step back and look at the pitching staffs for each team. How does it line up? What are the best courses of action? Who is most readily available on either side? I've gone through it, tallied up some things. I'll tell you how Coastal likes to use certain guys. All of those things here in this show. We'll also give a bit of an overview and, how Coastal got here and things of that nature. But mainly, this will focus on the pitching. Can either staff really find a hidden advantage on the mound? Because both pitch the ball incredibly well. Please smash the like button, get subscribed to the YouTube channel and on your favorite podcast app if you have not already. Please share, follow on social media, on Twitter X at Musso Matthew. You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook as well. That is very, very much appreciated. And let's go ahead and get right into it. We start first with a brief overview of Coastal Carolina and how they got here. The Chanticleers are riding a 26-game winning streak. It began all the way back on April the 25th and has continued up until this point. You do not win 26 games by accident. And Coastal Carolina, when it comes to out of conference, they play a pretty tough schedule. They know they have to, being in the Sun Belt. Not that the Sun Belt's not a good baseball league. You had two hosts come out of the Sun Belt this year. But on the season, Coastal played 16 games against Power 4 competition. They went 12-4 in those 16 games, including 2-1 against the SEC. And in their last 6 Power 4 games, they are 6-0. That includes the postseason run as well. They are the last remaining undefeated team in the postseason. It is an 8-0 run for Coastal Carolina. I will point out that LSU, to get to this spot, had to beat not one, but 2 undefeated teams in the postseason in Arkansas and UCLA, and obviously they accomplished that. Both of these teams are 3-0 in the College World Series. Coastal Carolina overall 56-11 on the season. That is the most wins in college baseball here in 2025. When you look at their team as a whole from a talent perspective, it may not be as deep as LSU's, but they definitely have their draftable players. It starts with their catcher, Caden Bodine, who has played himself into the first round. He was thought to be late first, early second. He seems firmly entrenched in the first round, given the performance here in the postseason. Kylie McDaniel in his latest mock draft has Bodine 20th overall to the Brewers. He leads the way. As I said, not a lot of top 5 round talent, but they do have some. 2 of them are their 1 and 2 in their rotation. Cameron Flukie and Jacob Morrison. We'll talk plenty about those guys today and as the rest of the week goes along. They are both eligible in 2026. And then left-handed reliever Dominic Carbone, also in that same range, top 5 round in 2026 as well. with a chance, obviously, for those players to just play themselves higher, obviously, into the draft, like a guy like Caden Bodine has done. You have to have those types of players to get here. The difference now is Coastal Carolina isn't going to sneak up on anybody. Their coach, Kevin Schnall, and to his credit, man, he has been campaigning for his program hard, and I love that. Says, we're one of the best programs in the country. This ain't no Cinderella. And it's not, and I agree with him, but that goes twofold as well. You've gotten to where you want to be now if you're the Coastal Carolina program. You are the top mid-major, and not only just are you the top mid-major, you're one of the best programs in college baseball over the last decade. You are Wichita State from the 80s and 90s, Cal State Fullerton from the 90s and early 2000s, Rice from the early 2000s, Tulane from the early 2000s. That's who you are. Where it's expected for you to be in this spot now. They've hosted plenty of regionals since 2016. For the better part of the decade, Coastal Carolina has been one of the top programs in the nation. You have the respect. But in that same vein, you are not going to sneak up on anybody anymore. And that also is what makes their run so impressive. So how did Coastal get here? And we'll dive into the pitching. Coastal Carolina, as we said, they are 8-0 in the postseason. They swept through their regional, the Conway Regional, 10-2 over Fairfield. Then they swept East Carolina 18-7 in the Marble game. 1-0 shutout. Fantastic pitched game in that one in the regional final to punch their ticket to the Auburn Super Regional. It was Riley Eichhoff with 7 1/3 shutout for Coastal Carolina against East Carolina in the regional final. They go to Auburn for the Super Regional, the number 4 overall seed Auburn Tigers. They jump out to a 6-1 lead in game number 1 behind Cameron Flukie. There's a long delay. Auburn makes a comeback, ties it at 6, and ultimately, two great defensive plays in the 8th and the 9th get the job done for Coastal. They managed to push across a run in the 9th inning as well. They win that one early on Saturday morning, 7-6. They trail for most of the game, 1-0 in game 2 on Sunday. Come back, beat Auburn 4-1 for unanswered. In that game, they sweep through the Auburn Regional and punch their ticket. Jacob Morrison was fantastic in that second game against Auburn. They get to the College World Series. They open up against Arizona. It's a rematch of the 2016 finals. It is a magnificent game, back and forth. They pitched Eichhoff to start, brought Flukie in for relief. It was a back and forth game, ultimately 3 runs in the 8th. Give Coastal Carolina the 7-4 win there. They move on to face Oregon State in the winner's bracket. Jacob Morrison, 7 2/3, 1-run ball. He was magnificent yet again, and they jump out to a 3-0 lead in the first. Never really looked back, beat Oregon State 6-2. And then on Wednesday against Louisville, Riley Eichhoff took to the mound. He was fantastic once again. Louisville issued a bunch of free passes. It got away from them early, 6-0 after 1. And ultimately, Coastal Carolina would pull away and win that one 11-3. And here they are, ready to face LSU. All right. The pitching staffs. How they line up. These two staffs in Omaha have been remarkably similar. Remarkably similar. When you look at usage, total pitches for each staff, and obviously it's resulted in 3-0 wins for both. We begin with the starters. We begin with Coastal Carolina. Both teams have their starters lined up, ready to go. So this will be a quick conversation. Cameron Flukie has not started a game in the College World Series, but he has been the game 1 starter for Coastal Carolina for the season. He came in relief, as we said, in that game against Arizona, threw 71 pitches on Friday. He has not pitched since. He is ready to go on an extra day's rest come Saturday for the championship series. Jacob Morrison, who has been phenomenal. He is the Sun Belt Pitcher of the Year. He leads this Coastal Carolina team in ERA. He's got a devastating cutter, pretty good hook as well. He threw 109 pitches against Oregon State on Sunday. 7 2/3 was awesome. 109 pitches on Sunday. Obviously has not pitched yet again. He is ready to go on normal rest in game number 2 of the championship series. Riley Eichhoff, their other starter, he has pitched twice. He has made 2 starts in the College World Series. Friday and Wednesday has totaled 143 pitches across those 2 outings. That is the most on this Coastal Carolina team. Eichhoff, when you look at it, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's 3 days rest coming off 143. If Coastal is up 1-0 in that series and you can back up Morrison potentially with Eichhoff, I think that is a possibility. That'd be on 3 days rest. But even after that, if say you're tied 1-1 in this series, Riley Eichhoff is more than ready to go on 4 days rest against LSU on a Monday, if necessary, game. And that would, in my opinion, potentially be a really big advantage for Coastal Carolina here. It's also worth noting he pitched Friday, off Saturday, off Sunday, off Monday, off Tuesday, on 4 days rest, started again on Wednesday. So he's already done it in this World Series, and he threw 98 pitches on the 4 days rest. So he would be full bore, ready to go. When you look at Coastal Carolina and their bullpen, they have their guys that they trust. And it's not a lot of them. We will start with Dominic Carbone. Carbone is a really good left-handed option for Coastal Carolina out of the bullpen. He's got a sub 2.5 ERA. He is tied for the team lead in appearances with 27. They use him in an extended relief role. This is a guy whose longest outing on the season is 4 innings. He has thrown 3 or more innings 3 different times and a bunch of 2-inning outings in there as well. He threw extended relief against Auburn, 1-inning spurts in the World Series. He has pitched twice in Omaha on Friday and on Wednesday through a total of 26 pitches. He is very, very well rested and ready to go, and him being a lefty, that is something to keep an eye on. Then there is their closer, Ryan Lynch. Ryan Lynch has 9 saves on the season, is tied with Carbone in appearances at 27, and has a 0.58 ERA in 31 innings pitched. He has thrown 5 pitches. 5 pitches in the World Series. He threw a third of an inning Sunday to close out Oregon State. It doesn't get any more rested than that, really, for the best arm in your pen. Then you go to Hayden Johnson. Hayden Johnson has pitched twice in the World Series. He's another lefty reliever, really solid option for them. Just kind of that middle relief guy. 49 pitches for Johnson over the course of Sunday and Wednesday. And then finally, Matt Potok, another right-handed pitcher, 21 appearances on the year. Again, middle relief, bridge type guy. 6 pitches, and he did that on Wednesday. The one guy you haven't seen that has pitched plenty for Coastal is Darren Horn. Horn has 18 outings on the season, all in relief, a sub 3 ERA. He's been very good. He has not pitched since the marble game against East Carolina in the regional. So while he has the 18 appearances, they have not gone to him in tight spots or whatnot. Outside of Horn, you really kind of have some up 10, down 10 guys in Matt Joyce, Luke Jones, Oliver Ellison that have not pitched in this either. Jackson Appleman. Like, they have other arms, but they have really focused in on Carbone, Johnson Lynch, and Potok so far here after that regional in the Super and in Omaha. Those are the guys they're counting on carrying, and they are all very, very rested. In total, Coastal Carolina in 3 games has thrown 409 pitches. In short, they have everyone ready to go in any role they want them ready to go in. Coastal is the more rested of the 2 teams as well. Coastal got every single one of their days off that was possible in this World Series. They were off Saturday. They were off Monday. They won Wednesday and earned Thursday off, and they were going to be off Friday anyway. They are very, very fresh. Now, your Fighting Tigers of LSU could not be in a better position given what they have gone through in this World Series. We'll start with your starters. Cade Anderson threw 100 pitches on Saturday. He is ready to go. Full rest for Saturday to start game 1 of the championship series, and that is absolutely massive. We talked all season and definitely all postseason about how this can set up for LSU with Anderson and Ianson if you stay in the winner's bracket. And I'll be damned, LSU did it. And now you have those 2 ready to go. And Anderson will be on full rest, and that is a great, great advantage to LSU. Anthony Ianson on Monday threw 44 pitches. Then the rain delay happened, and he was spent. He was hot, ready to go Wednesday night if you needed him. The way that worked out with the walk-off, ultimately, you did not need him. So Anthony Ianson has thrown 1 time in this World Series and only threw 44 pitches. And that was on Monday. He will be on 1 day short rest going Sunday, but he is full ready to go. You could not ask for a better spot if you're LSU than to have Anderson and Ianson both ready to start in the National Championship Series, Games 1 and Game 2. That is how you have won all year. It is the majority of your games. And there you go. Cason Evans. Cason Evans has pitched twice in the World Series. Saturday and then Tuesday. He threw 81 pitches. You did not use him on Wednesday night. So he had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. He is ready to go to close out the first game if you need him. The 81 pitches seems like a lot. And yeah, some of them are high leverage. But he had a good gap in there of Sunday and Monday, and then extending on Tuesday. And now with 3 days off, he is ready to go to close out one of the games. And that is how LSU approaches this, y'all. Like, let's get that out of the way right now. If LSU is up on Saturday and you need to close this out to win game 1, because winning game 1 of the championship series is so important, Cason Evans is going to be part of that formula to close that game out. And if he is not part of the formula to close out game number 1, if you have a lead in game number 2, he will be part of the formula to close out game number 2. And he's on great rest. Chase Shores is the real interesting one for LSU, because Chase Shores has thrown 3 times in this regional, and it has all been high leverage. It's only 56 pitches across those 3 outings, but it is high leverage 56 pitches for Chase Shores. The 3 outings, Saturday to Tuesday wasn't a big deal. Tuesday, Wednesday was. That was the first time Shores had thrown on back-to-back days all season long. And he finally just looked out of gas. Him having Thursday, Friday to recover is great. And if you need him on Saturday, you use him. But I think with having this rested of a Case and Evans, now 3 days rest, you can afford to have Evans be the first out of the bullpen after Cade Anderson and potentially give Shores an extra day and bring him back in relief on Sunday. I think that's awesome to potentially be able to have. Zach Cowan. Zach Cowan has appeared one time. It was Wednesday night. It was the gym. He threw 84 pitches. He was awesome. If this thing gets to a deciding game 3, I think that's when you see Zach Cowan again. Could you see him Sunday? Sure. He would have had Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, the other thing to, consider here about Cowan is those 84 pitches are easily his season high. Easily his season high. Before that, the most pitches he had thrown in a game was 60, and that was against Oklahoma back in April. The recovery with him is going to be very key. But if you absolutely have to have something from him in game 2, you probably could get it. But I think that's the guy they're going to highlight and be like, man, if this has to go game 3, you want to save him and have him start. And then you get to Cooper Williams, Jaden Newt, and Jacob Myers. Williams threw 21 pitches on Tuesday. He did not throw Wednesday. He won't throw Thursday, Friday. You have him in roles that any role you want him in for this championship series. And he's been very good down the stretch for LSU. It got away from him a little after that last infield single where he just kind of lost command. Didn't really have his fastball command in that outing to begin with. But I'll ask you the same thing about Cooper Williams that I've asked you about Newt, about Shores, about Myers, about all those guys when they're outing in the regional. Do you believe it was a one-off? And what you'll actually see is the Cooper Williams who before Tuesday had given up 2 earned runs since the Tennessee series in April. I think it was an outlier. So I like him in a left-handed matchup role. I like him coming in to maybe get you an inning or an inning and a third if you need him to. He's gotten the nerves out. He's already pitched in Omaha. I think he can be huge for you as well. And he's very well rested. And then you have Newton Myers. Jaden Newt threw 11 pitches on Wednesday. He was phenomenal, by the way. And Jacob Myers threw 9. And what goes overlooked in that ball game is after Myers gives up the single to Justin Thomas Jr. to give Arkansas the 5-3 lead, or the double, I guess it was. You have a runner in scoring position in the top of the order coming up, 1 out. It could spiral on you. Thomas ends up getting all the way to third base on a wild pitch. And Myers goes strikeout of Davalon and Aloy and keeps it at 2 runs, and LSU's able to come back. Like, that was a huge point in that game. Myers, only the 9 pitches. Great. You have those guys, Newt and Myers, in any capacity that you want them this weekend as well. LSU in 3 games has thrown 406 pitches. So who's more rested? Coastal Carolina is more rested. While LSU has thrown 3 less pitches than them, Coastal has had their designated off days all to themselves. That's why winning for LSU Wednesday night was so big. One, you didn't want to play Arkansas again because anything can happen, but it got you your rest back. It got you Thursday and Friday that you were already going to have. And that's huge. I won't lie to you. I think Coastal is the more rested pitching staff. Top to bottom, when you consider starters and bullpen combined. I mean, y'all, their closer's thrown 5 pitches in this thing. the most pitches someone from the Coastal Carolina bullpen has thrown is Hayden Johnson at 49. I mean, you look at Evans at 81, Shores at 56. Like, their top guys are more rested. LSU's bullpen is deeper. And that's going to be a big, big, big part of this, because with LSU, you still haven't even seen Maverick Rizzi get in this. You haven't seen DJ Primo get into this. And those guys have pitched in the postseason in each round for LSU so far. And they can absolutely play a role for LSU in this championship series. And that's one thing I look at with LSU and I go, I like that. The depth of your bullpen is greater than Coastal Carolina's, just looking at the way they have handled this thing throughout the postseason. They've shown you who they really trust. This should be a dynamite series. So I guess if I'm looking at this and I'm giving an edge to somebody pitching, I'm giving it to LSU. I like your 1-2 punch better. Now, there's some things you're going to have to do that we'll talk about in the preview, but on paper, I like your 1-2 punch better, and you have a deeper bullpen than Coastal Carolina does. I think you have the pitching edge. It'll all play out. This is going to be a tightly contested, awesome series. Pitching will rule the day in this because of the weather and how Coastal plays. Expect low-scoring games, some stressful moments, but it should be a dandy between two really good baseball teams in LSU and Coastal Carolina. You know, we will have you covered all throughout the championship series here on Musso at the Box. So please subscribe, share, follow on social media, smash that like button, and be here next time for more. We are giving our final thoughts and final preview on LSU and Coastal in the championship series from the College World Series next time on Musso at the Box.